Hello, everyone. It's me, your kid, Spades. If you're new here, hi, I'm Spades. Um, your probably least favorite person on the planet. Um, I'm here with another video. I asked y'all what y'all wanted to see on Instagram, and y'all gave me some really good suggestions. But after a poll tournament that some of y'all were involved in, it came down to witchcraft tips. So, we are here. I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for witchcraft. These are the things that I wish I would have known whenever I started in 6th grade, whenever I was 12. Um, and yeah, let's get started. First, I have it written down on my phone. The first tip I have is going to be the most common tip that you hear in any tip or any list of tips from other practitioners. Research. Do your damn research, please. So many times I've seen young witches and young practitioners get lost because they don't do their research, and then they end up hurting themselves, hurting other people, or just falling out of the practice, which is really not upsetting to see, but it's like, aw, because like you want people to know what you know. My number 2 tip: talk to other witches. You have the world at your fingertips in a phone. Use it. Get on social media. Go find other witches. Follow follow the big practitioners. Follow I dropped my phone. Follow the really popular practitioners. The Witch of Wonderlust, Chaotic Witch Aunt, Witch of Southern Light, Harmony Nice. Follow them and then go in their comments and find people who you vibe with. Go make friends in the witchcraft community, because that's what this is. This is a community where we share our knowledge and what we learn and what we've grown to know in our practice. Let me unlock my phone real quick because I dropped it and apparently it closed on me. Tip number 3: slow down. It's really not that serious. Not yet, at least. You don't have to know everything immediately at once. You don't have to be this whole full blown um making goat sacrifices. We don't make goat sacrifices. That's I I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, but but you get what I'm saying. Don't don't expect yourself to be at a higher level than you are. Take your time. Go slow. You have the rest of your life to learn and to grow and to discover and to build your practice. It's not that serious. Tip number 4: meditate. Just meditate. Because that's really the biggest part of witchcraft. Meditate. Meditate and um this leads me into my next tip. Listen to yourself. What do you need? Which Witchcraft is about bettering yourself so that you can better the world. Witchcraft is about using. It's about. How do I explain this? We as humans are flawed. We are not perfect in any capacity. So, witchcraft is a means for us to better ourselves and for us to become what the world needs in the moment that we are alive. Witchcraft is a way for us to become what the world needs and become what other people need. So if you don't meditate and if you don't listen to your body, then there is no way for you to better yourself. If if you recognize that, like me personally, I'm very self-centered, and that's something that I have to work on. But I only learned that by meditating and listening to myself and figuring out what isn't working? Why do I have all of these conflicts in my life? Let me look and see what the common factor is. So that is tip 6, 5, and 6. Tip 4 and 5. Tip number 6: work with what you have. This goes back to number 3: slow down. You don't have everything at your fingertips already. You aren't going to have a bunch of crystals and a bunch of herbs and a bunch of candles and this and that and the other. Work with what you have. You know what you have? You have bottled water. Stick a bottle of water on the windowsill at night and make moon water. Then you can use that to cleanse and purify pretty much everything that you use in your practice. I started with playing cards. I started with a deck of playing cards, and I learned how to read these because that's what I had access to. That's what I was able to get my hands on and be able to learn with. Work with yarn, work with freaking doodads that you find all around your house, buttons, thumbtacks. Work with what you have because that's really how witchcraft developed. We didn't always have this knowledge of herbs and remedies and medicine and all of this energetic working. People just worked with what they had, and they were like, hey, that plant looks interesting, let's use it. It's like, you have to discover for yourself. And yeah, if you have, go in your spice cabinet. If you have time, what is time good for? Look up the correspondences, look up what you can use time for, look up what herbal remedies time, or what remedies time is good for. There are things at your fingertips. There are things in your house that you can use. I have a guitar that I can use for sound cleansing. There are so many things that you can use. You do not have to have all the materials in the world to be a witch. Witchcraft is being resourceful and working with what you're given. Tip number, I don't know what number we're on. I'm 7? Are we on 7? I think we're on 7. Oh my god, can I enter my passcode correctly? Please? We are on 7. Yes. Grounding. This goes back to listening to yourself and meditation. Grounding is a great practice to use because it's very easy for us as witches to be caught up in the metaphysical and the spiritual and the energetic, and we tend to forget about reality. Not that it's not real, but we tend to forget about our daily life. We have to eat, we have to drink water, there are so many things that we have to do as normal members of society before we can do as witches. So grounding is a great practice to remind yourself, like, hey, I need to do that. And it can be as simple as taking your medication in the morning, taking your vitamins. I don't take vitamins, I don't take medication, so I am already out to a bad start. No, but seriously, take your vitamins, take your medication, drink water, get a good night's sleep, ground yourself in reality, and that will better your witchcraft 1,000 times. I promise you. Tip number 8. Why do I keep closing my phone if I know I'm going to need it open? Tip number 8. Cleanse, ward, maintain. I like to do this at the start of every month. Cleanse your space. Whatever space you do your working in, or you spend a lot of your time in my case it'd be my bedroom. I cleanse my bedroom with sound, my crystals, moonlight, moon water. I cleanse my space to make sure that it's completely clear of all energy that I've accumulated throughout the month. Then, I redo my wards. I have, let me show you. I have this little ceramic frog that I have in a little dish, and I put moon water in there to give him energy. This is my room guardian. This is my ward. He is going to protect my room no matter what comes in. He's going to push the energy out of my room because that's the intention that I gave him. I have wards set up on my windows. I have the cinnamon broom on my door. Let me get it. Let me get my cinnamon broom. I have a cinnamon broom on my door because it pushes out all of that energy. It smells good. But yeah, warding can be as simple as just putting something in front of your door. Literally. Just like, I have that stuffed animal, let me put it on top of my door frame, let me put it on a shelf in my room, and give it the intention to push out whatever energy I bring in. Let me give it the intention to protect my room and my space. It's as simple as that. And maintain it. If you... Excuse you, my phone went off. I don't know if you heard that. But, if you... What was I saying? Oh, if you're like me and you like to do, a consistent ward, make sure you maintain that ward. I give my ward Moonwater every time I see that it needs to be refilled. Because that's what gives my ward power. That's what strengthens it. That's what makes it work. You might, I don't know, I really can't think of anything. But maintain your wards. Make sure that they're working. Make sure that they're doing what they need to do. Because that's really important. My Evil Eye necklace that I wear every day, I cleanse this at least once a week with sage oil just to make sure that it's pushing away the negative energy, and I'm re-strengthening it with that sage oil. It's not going to be back to 100%, because it started at 100%, then it dropped to, like, let's say 70%. Giving it that sage oil, it's not going to bring it back to 100, but it's going to take it back to at least 95. And yeah, over time, it's going to wear down. It's going to break eventually, because there's going to be that one final straw. But I'm going to do what I can to maintain my wards, my protective measures. I believe we are number 9. Let's find out. Can I please open the phone? Apparently not. I got an eyelash in my eye. I'm fine. Jesus Christ. 9. We are number 9. Do not force your practice. So, a huge mistake that I made whenever I started my practice was choosing my deities. In 6th grade, I decided that I was going to work with Apollo and Artemis. I got extremely lucky. A lot of deities won't be as forgiving as Apollo and Artemis were. In my case, they saw my devotion, they saw my dedication, and they said, all right, we trust you to do what you need to do. Has it been easy? No. Before working with Apollo, I was a compulsive liar. And now, anytime I lie, Apollo's like, no, you're done. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And it always comes back to bite me in the butt because I have the God of Truth working with me. I have the God of Prophecy working with me. I cannot lie. I was working with Artemis, and I've been working with Artemis since I started my practice, and with her, it's kind of been smooth sailing because I've never really had an issue being respectful and of myself and other people, which is a really big thing with Artemis. I've never had a problem with respecting nature and respecting animals, which is a really big part of working with Artemis. But will she smack me in the back of the head and say, "The fuck are you doing?" Yes. Don't force your practice. If something's going to happen, let it happen. Don't push something to the point where it's your decision now. Let the universe work. All you need to do is work on yourself and work in your space. If a deity wants to work with you, they will come to you. If a spirit wants to work with you, they will come to you. Do not go looking for a deity. Do not force your practice. Ever, in any capacity. The only thing that you should ever be forcing is yourself. And even then, it should only be just beyond what you think your limit is. It's just like working out. You're going to push yourself to your edge and then a little bit further. You can't push yourself to the edge and go further again because you're going to hurt yourself. You can't force your healing. You can't force your growing. You just have to force yourself a little bit each day to be better, to better yourself as a person and as a practitioner. So yeah, don't force your practice. And the last tip I have for you, the most quintessential tip that I can ever give anyone in witchcraft. Mundane before magical. Mundane before magical. What does that mean? Mundane before magical means for anything that happens, don't immediately attribute it to any magical explanation. If your light bulb goes out, don't take it as a sign from a deity immediately. How long have you had the light bulb? The light bulb probably went out because it's dead now. It's been used. If something falls off the shelf, is that shelf unstable? Is that shelf on a slant? Is there something that could have knocked it off? Was that item at a slant? There are so many explanations for things that people immediately attribute to magical that it's like, no. You get sick. It's not immediately a curse. There's a pandemic going around. Or there's a pandemic going on. There is a virus going around. There's a pandemic going on. There is ill in the air. You might get sick. It's not immediately a curse from your crazy ex. It's probably just either COVID, the flu. There are so many explanations. Don't immediately attribute anything to magic. If it's something completely out of the ordinary, like you live in a suburban area and suddenly there are a bunch of cats at your door, literally, like, let's say you never really have a problem with cats, and suddenly there's a whole flock of cats on your street, might be magical. If you don't see anything that would pull cats into your area, it's probably magical. If you have never once seen a specific animal in your area and you see that animal, probably magical. Excuse you. My phone went off twice in a row. If you see recurring numbers, you see it everywhere, literally everywhere you look, it's probably magical. If somebody's texting you at those hours or at those specific times, not magical. They're trying to contact you at that time. My hair looks green there. Anyway, mundane before magical. Go with the simplest explanation. Occam's razor. The most likely explanation is probably true. Or, what is it? The simplest explanation is the most likely? Let me look up Occam's razor real quick. Because I know Occam's razor, but I can't think of Occam's razor. I can't think of the specific wording. We're looking up Occam's razor, everyone. Hold on. Because I'm telling you, this is important. Last time I had somebody ask me why I didn't just edit out whenever I needed to get up and go get something. It's just because I'm lazy. I didn't feel like it. Um, but that's the same reason I'm not editing this out. Occam's razor. Occam's razor is the principle of theory construction or evaluation according to which, other things equal, explanations that posit fewer entities or fewer kinds of entities are preferred to explanations that posit more. That's really that's confusing. Let me look up a simplified explanation, because, geez. Okay, sometimes paraphrased inaccurately, as the simplest explanation is usually the best one. The simplest explanation of me knocking my cards down, I knocked my cards down. That's not magical. I'm gonna have to clean that up. I shouldn't have done that. But you get the idea. Just because something happens doesn't immediately mean it's magical. That's a mundane before magical. And yeah, those are my 10 tips. If you have any questions about anything, leave them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to elaborate on it. And comment what you want to see next. I'll be doing a lot of people were asking for room tours, paranormal experiences. Um Tell me what you want and I'll think about it, because some things I can't do. But yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.